Hi there, my name is Erik and I play bass, and today I'm going to tell you the 4 things that you need to keep in mind when you're sending your tracks to Glenn Fricker to get them mixed. So before we get started with the list, I'm going to just give you a bit of a backstory to this track and all of that. Back in January of 2022, me and my Iron Maiden tribute band, Infinite Maiden, went into the studio, so to speak. You know, we set up at the college where our drummer is studying, in one of the concert halls, and we recorded Hallowed Be Thy Name, we recorded Wasted Years, we did The Trooper, and we did Where Eagles Dare, so 4 tracks. And went down pretty darn well. Me and Emil did the drum and bass thingies in the room, and then Kristian and Jonatan did the guitars. And then Sara did the vocals a few months later when she was in Stockholm. And for various reasons, you know, life getting in the way, we didn't end up with the tracks being mixed. They were pretty much just sitting on hard drives, and we had our attempts at it. And then I thought, hey, maybe I should just ask Glenn if he wants to mix one of the songs. I've been working with Glenn quite a bit over the years. It's always been lots of fun. I've done, you know, anime covers. I've played bass on Black Sabbath songs. I did a bunch of original tracks for him, and he's an amazing guy. Lots of fun to work with and all of that. So I figured, hey, I'll shoot from the hip and ask him if he wants to mix it. And he said yes to my surprise. So I sent him a Dropbox folder with the tracks, and he got to work pretty much right away, which surprised me. I thought they were just gonna sit on a hard drive there as well and, you know, wait. But he actually got to work pretty quickly with the tracks once he got them. And when he started mixing, he did a live stream, you know, when he started to do the tracks, and there were a few things that I've learned from this that I'm never gonna allow myself to do again. And, you know, I learned quite a bit of doing this, and he had a bit of a rant on the live streams, which was, you know, good-hearted and no offense taken at all. It was just fun, and we all laugh about it, and you know, I learned something from it. These tracks that I sent Glenn were never meant for anyone else but us to mix, which is why some of these issues presented themselves, because we never thought, hey, someone else is gonna mix this. Lesson number 1: always record and send a clean DI with your guitar and bass tracks. I always do this, and Kristian and Jonatan do that as well whenever they are not, you know, doing this. Kristian had found and dialed in a really nice Kemper tone that ended up on the track. However, he didn't record a clean DI because, like I said, we weren't supposed to send this to anyone else. We were supposed to mix this ourselves, pretty much. Turns out Glenn had the exact Gallien-Kruger amp that Maiden used on the Somewhere in Time album. And it was a real bummer that he couldn't, you know, reamp the tracks through that. So always record a clean DI with your guitar and bass tracks, because you never know when you want to reamp it sometime in the future, or if someone else is going to mix it, like in this case. Lesson number 2: always record a room mic for the drums. So regarding the drums, Emil, who is the drummer in Infinite Maiden and who also plays with me and Sara in 6 Feet Deeper, he had this idea and concept regarding the drum mix, and he's an amazing mixer, both for full bands and as well as just, you know, drum tracks. He has a YouTube channel called Drummer Swede. He hasn't posted anything there for quite a while, but he's the guy who mixed the stuff there, and I mean, he's amazing at mixing drums, and he really knows his shit when it comes to recording and tracking drums and all of that. And he had this technique in mind when it came to the miking of the drums, and we set up for that. However, we didn't record a room mic because that wasn't needed for this occasion. And in retrospect, we should have done that. We should just have put up a room mic for the drums. Glenn would have been so much happier for that. And having mixed some stuff myself after this, I can really tell that having a room mic is pretty much a must if you want a great drum sound. So always record a room mic for your drums. Lesson number 3, label your tracks correctly. This goes back to the fact that no one else but us was gonna mix this. Yeah, and this is all on me. I was the one who consolidated the files and sent them to Glenn, and I didn't rename Kristian's guitar tracks to Guitar 1, Guitar 2, Lead Guitar. I labeled them Kristian 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, that made Glenn go on a bit of a rant on the live streams. I did label the bass tracks correctly, and the drum tracks, and the vocal tracks, but not Kristian's guitars. So yeah, sorry about that, Glenn. Lesson number 4, consolidate your tracks correctly. This wasn't a big issue, however, it was also all on me. When Glenn did the first live stream of the mixing, Sara's lead vocal was a bit off in the timing, and that wasn't on her, that was on me, because when we recorded the vocal tracks, we recorded them to a quick mix down of the actual songs, which meant that I had to sync up the vocal tracks with, the original stems, and I didn't do a good job with that, so that was all on me. I should have, done a second playthrough, and just, it was pretty obvious once you played back that she was, I think, was a bit late with the vocal tracks, so that was all on me, and again, proves that us bass players, we have a hard time thinking sometimes, I guess. And you know what? Here's a bonus tip for you. Tip number 5. Even though you are the one who's mixing, prepare your tracks and everything as if someone else would just come in and take over. You never know who's gonna mix your songs, so make sure that everything is nice and clean and properly aligned and named. So there you have it. That's my list of the 4 things that you need to keep in mind when you're sending your tracks to Glenn Fricker or whoever else in the world who's gonna mix your tracks. So with that being said, thank you again, Glenn, for mixing this track. We are forever grateful for you doing that. It turned out great. If you haven't seen the video already, it's here on my channel. I'll have links somewhere here where you can watch it. It's pretty cool. Sounds pretty good, I must say. I did a video. It's kind of reminiscent and an homage to the old Maiden video of Wasted Years. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. My name is Erik, and I usually play bass. And I'll see you guys and gals and cats and dogs in the next video. Until next time, take care. Bye.